Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to NinjaTrader Live. My name is Jim Cagnina. I am the senior market strategist, and I am joined by our senior economist, Tracy Shuchart, aka Shy Girl. Tracy, how are you?
I am good. How are you doing? Kind of a busy afternoon while we were away.
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. But yeah, the world sure is going crazy right now. What's the latest?
Right. And so, well, I'm sure everybody has heard, but just to recap, we did have Iran strike or attempt to strike the U.S. Air Force Base in Qatar. Um, Apparently, it was 6 missiles and they were shot down. That said, interesting that they told us ahead of time. They basically said, we're going to strike your Air Force Base in a few minutes. So, but since then, we've had Qatar, UAE, and Bahrain all have closed their airspace because we have military bases there. So we will keep apprised of that. Initial reaction in the market was to the downside, but we have since rebounded since it looks like little to no damage was sustained, and everybody is sort of just waiting to see if these attacks continue or not.
Any updated news about the Straits of Hormuz?
So that is still open. That is fine. We do have tanker rates are actually skyrocketing today, however. So we shall see, I mean, prices have jumped almost 90% since the Israeli-Iran attacks just began. They're still driving higher today, once again. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on if you are looking at the tanker market in general.
Yeah, that totally makes sense, right? I want a risk premium for this heightened sense of danger to even do this, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And insurance rates have also skyrocketed.
Right. Wow. Well, let's hope cooler heads prevail. In the meantime, let's take a look at that crude oil contract. I mean, this candle, today's candle. I mean, we were kind of a little bit in a bullish run anyway, but because we had a couple of breakouts, especially from the $64 level. But this big candle here, this is a $10.20 handle, give or take a couple ticks from high to low. And that's how much uncertainty was built into this, all of this horrible drama that we saw over the weekend and into today. And it's kind of skewing all the moving averages and the stochastics and everything else. But now we're at a 68 handle right now. So we're kind of settling down here, and we're just right past the midpoint of this candle. So this candle here that we saw a couple sessions ago on June 13th, that was a benchmark candle. It was a dominant candle. Yeah, we had a big seller's wick on top, but so what? And we're right, but a little bit south of the midpoint here as well. So when the dust settles, it'll be interesting to see how this market trades going forward on a longer term basis. Intraday, I mean, let me see if I can even find it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, wow, look at all
Yeah.
these lines. Um, Let me get this to a 30 minutes so I don't have to stretch it out so much. Um, Crude oil, I mean, we've just broke through every mentor Q level, every pivot level, everything. I mean, we broke through S1, we broke through JX3, JX2, S2, one day min, JX3, all the way down to this blind spot here, mentor Q blind spot to $68. So, VWAP is at the top of of the candles right here. Sellers are obviously in charge at this point. Interestingly enough, though, the opening range was a little kind of subtle. Not the opening range. The initial balance was a little subtle. 74.32 down to 72, less than $2, down to 72. I don't know, 57, give or take. And then, boom, this is the big one. This candle right here
Yeah.
at
I
1 o'clock. So,
It's
so
it's mostly a lot of risk premium coming out of this market because the strait is still open. These attacks so far from Iran have seemed light, and there is a saying, and I told everybody that I was talking to this weekend in my little chat group. As soon as I saw the U.S. go over to Iran and bomb their nuclear sites, I said, if oil opens up on Sunday evening, I'm like, sell it because the threat of war is bullish, but actual war is generally bearish for oil. So there's your little tidbit of knowledge next time we have another war trading crude oil.
Wow. That is great advice. That is exactly what happened. Let's shoot over to nat gas while we're at it, though, since we're talking about the energy market. And let me get on to the daily on nat gas. Same kind of following suit, right? Another pretty decent sized sell off here on a daily. What's going on with nat gas?
So nat gas, I mean, really, everybody's saying it's weather related because the heat wave is leaving. Again, I think this is part, we kind of saw initial sell off and then a sell off afterwards after the Qatar bombing just happened because no facilities. They're the second largest exporter of LNG and natural gas outside of the U.S. Obviously, that risk premium has sort of come out of the market since it looks like so far it's not going to be any oil or gas installations that Iran has been going after or plans to go after. That all could change on a dime. But right now, again, the risk premium coming out off of this market.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a nice pattern, actually. We have almost a triple top here, approximately $3.80. Again, it's a backward adjusted continuous daily chart. We hit it up again at the end of May. We hit it up again at the beginning of June, and then we broke on through what looked like forcefully. This is a pretty nice 4-day rally, and then that was it. Enough was enough. Sell off last session, and then a really big sell off today as well. So we're breaking through the moving averages, which is interesting because we literally just crushed that 80 EMA today. And now we're just sitting on that 21 EMA with intentions possibly to get to that 50 EMA on the downside. And then when you look at stochastics, we had a cross under a couple sessions ago, but it's kind of arcing nicely. It's sloping nicely downward. I know we're only at 63 on the stochastics, but it's the slope that I think is important. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's looking a little bit bearish there. Looking at that intraday chart, kind of similar, although not quite as well. Maybe it is as exaggerated as that crude oil chart. That VWAP, that session VWAP here is framing the top of the conversation nicely. Sellers are in charge. We can't get any traction above that VWAP today. And we ended up breaking through S1, Jack's 1 level, which is the most important gamma exposure level at 3.75, did not hold. And then we ended up down at Jack's 2, which is 3.70. And that's kind of where it looks like we're going to settle right now on nat gas. That's the story there. Tracy, we do have time to talk about gold a little bit. What's going on in gold?
So gold prices are up today. I mean, if we kind of look at this market on a longer term chart, we've kind of been rangy, but kind of in a larger range, but very volatile intraday. But we still do have gold. Gold was very volatile intraday, but still up 0.25% today. Obviously we've got the geopolitical tensions going on. We've got a lot of economic uncertainty still, although we did have Bowman out speaking earlier this morning that was all in for a July cut. And then while we were away, Goolsbee was talking, and he's generally very hawkish, and he sounded a little more dovish. So gold likes rate cuts, so that's also helping. And a weaker dollar. We started this morning, the dollar shot up overnight and has since given up all of those gains and then some, down about a little over 0.25% as well. But a strong move in the DXY. Obviously, that's helping gold kind of firm up here a little bit.
Yeah, what an amazing flip-flop on the dollar. Gold right now, we have a nice trend up if you go all the way back to the middle of May. And I drew a fib line from that point all the way up to that peak high that we have. And right now we're tracking right about that 23.6% retracement level, kind of a minor fib level, but on a longer term chart, it's probably more meaningful than on a shorter time frame. nowhere near the 38.1. We're sitting right on top of that 8 EMA. And look at the bodies of these candles. So these are like RTH candle bodies, small, 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 baby bodies of a candle. Not a lot of conviction here. So we're kind of been going sideways ever since the 17th on gold, even though we have some big wicks on the bottom of these candles, right? Buyers are just pushing us back up, back up, back up, back up. We'll see if that continues, or maybe buyers will just give up. But right now, it's kind of sideways action here. Stochastics are still okay. I mean, there's nothing, they're sloping, but not as much. The slope is more subtle than in the last market we just saw. So it's kind of middle range right there. Intraday, it's an okay volume profile, almost a double distribution. We have the main distribution up top here where that point of control is sitting in 33.96 spot 4. It's pretty much where we're at right now. We did get all the way up to that GX3 level though at 34.10, and then that was that. On the downside, yeah, we saw that S1 tested one candle early in the morning, but really that zero DTE put support really held at 33.75 on gold. Oh boy, so Tracy, that is today's hot commodity report. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll see you guys in the chat.
All right, all right. Coming up, we have trading to close, OrderFlow Labs in the house. We have XYZ and we have Nick for a tick. Good afternoon, gentlemen. How you guys doing?
Good, good. Trying to see this short workout.
I was going to wonder, if you were short sitting up here at this high?
Yeah, I
Uh,
got two off already. So
this has
yeah,
been an
we'll go
interesting
through.
session.
I love today's session. Today's session I think might be my best performance all month. So it's good to me.
I mean, I caught a quick long off the open and kind of just didn't sit around most of the mid morning. So you're taking all the points.
Actually, I had really good trades, but I took, in the grand scheme, looking at how the moves went, I took like probably 30%, maybe even 20% of the actual moves. I think it's
Mhm.
just because the market's moving, it ended up better for me. I think I just got filled on one right now. Yep. Yeah, I had the IB failure in the morning. Took it down to around here, but as you could see, it went all the way down. So it was nice, but I didn't get this reoffer. What I didn't say was I got short again down here. So ideally, this spot or even right here were the best entries, but at the time I wasn't sure, right? We could have easily just started bidding up again. So I waited till we broke below overnight high, and then waited to see if they're gonna keep offering it down. If they did, I pretty much thought, hey, I think it's gonna be VWAP. We got to VWAP, I got flat, and it's still just like washed down way lower. So the trades worked, but it wasn't like I'm holding for these crazy moves. Um, you guys know how it is with me.
Hmm.
And then my last before the short, the long, I couldn't really find a way in. It was tough. I waited. You see all these wicks. It was tough. I waited until they actually started trading above 900 and holding it. And I just started chasing it with really small size because obviously the stop has to be at that time like all the way down here. I'm not used to running like a 30, 40 point stop, right? So I was like, I think it's going to go up. I just can't really find a way in. The pace was picking up hard. We had that higher low. We're looking at a rotation type day. So kind of just added along. But I took them off around here where the POC is now. It wasn't prior. But the 960. So I'm getting the the trades, but I'm not getting the full moves as you might think for sure. It's just that they've been working. They've been working a lot faster, so it works out better for me. I'm not getting tempted to like pull off for 20 points or 30, right? It's making it easy for me today because it's actually going when it goes.
Right.
Oh,
Not the case.
you know what they say down south? XYZ's on fire today.
Today's a good day. Today is a good day. It's an outlier. I'll say that much.
No, 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 it's
It's
not.
an
I'm sure.
outlier.
Anyway, before I hop over to the chat, I do want to remind everybody Sunday night, we have Nick Furtick is with us live Sunday night, Globex Open. And this was a great session this Sunday night. And there was a lot of stuff to talk about because of all the drama that we saw in the Middle East. So I just want to remind everybody, hey, if you're around, pop in and check out Nick Sunday. What time do you start, Nick? 5:30 East Coast time?
It'd be 5:45 East Coast time. So yeah, right
5:45.
before we set we settle in before the Sunday Open. We talk a little bit. We'll get kind of our lay of the land a little bit with ES. And actually, everybody last night wanted to watch Crude. Of course they did. I mean, I did too. I think everybody was expecting that gap up, but I know Tracy was just talking about the weakness that we've seen today. Probably caught a few people off guard, but that was a nice little statistic there, which is, the threat of war is bullish, but the actual, everything else kind of can cause it to actually sell off if things do escalate. So interesting.
Absolutely. All right, guys. I'm going to pop over the chat. Good luck today.
See
Thanks,
ya.
Jim. All right, I don't know what happened. My position tracker went away, so now I can actually share my screen because I had to re-add it.
You flat right now? You been
I
flat?
am flat. I was debating on taking this similar short, but I kind of have been, I mean, this entire consolidation that we've been sitting in an ES up here, I've just been kind of waiting to see, do we come poke last week's value area high and take out the previous day high from Friday before I was looking to initiate it? And I mean, so far I'm not disappointed in not taking it just because we haven't really seen. I mean, it's a tougher trade in ES right now. NQ, you can at least do what you did and kind of scalp your way in and out of that consolidation. Yes, you kind of just you're sitting waiting to see, are we going to peak inside initial balance high?
I think it's way harder on ES right now.
Yeah.
NQ, if you just look at the Delta profile here, it gave pretty clear signals that if they're going to hold here, there's good potential for the move. And usually I wouldn't take this short at the highs. Well, there's a few things. We are at the high of this range, right? But usually I'd like to see them trade under this first, under this node, right?
Right.
And then, show that they're not going to trade anymore and then wash down. But with the risk reward, seeing all of this absorption and then the weakness starts to kick in, I figured, I think at the time it was like a 15-point risk for a pretty good potential downside. So I figured, hey, let's try it first. I had 3, and then I got 5, took some off, and then I added back in for 7. Then I took 2 off at the first poke into the 40s, and I got another one down there at the previous poke just now. I'm holding on to 4 because the trade has paid me pretty well already. And if we are going to wash further down, I don't want to give up. I don't want to give up any of these lots for this location, as opposed to being able to hold them for the actual move down. Because usually, yeah, look, we've got quite a bit of points in. I'm still on 4 lots. I'm gonna get back down, but luckily because I can scalp the rotation, I feel better, more at ease with holding these for the potential down move. I do want to note, again, this is like that range, right? So longs usually like, yeah, I'm not looking to short as we're building higher, right? I want to see us go through the node first, or most of the time this is going to hold and they're going to build higher. But because we're at the edge of the range, I'd rather not long it. I'd rather do nothing than long it. Generally, I wouldn't even try to short it yet. But because of the absorption and then the risk was pretty capped. But we do have still this trapped volume outside. I want to note, how do I do this? I'm going to draw. So coming back today, today's current low is this volume. So how I usually, use these daily profiles is I'm going to see where the volume was last prior to a certain move. So you can see on this move down, we finally poked outside the range and they trapped, right? They put in all this effort, this volume, couldn't get what they wanted. They came back through the range. And because now there's pretty significant outsized volume, we can work through it. So coming back through, we get to first, it would be this area. So I'm just gonna draw this for the time being. This is that significant volume. So we hold here first and we drive back up. So now my zone of reference, remove this, sorry. Okay, it looks like my chart is frozen. Give me a second. Yeah, so
You're
now
good.
this is my area of reference, right? They came back and they held it and they built it and they ran it back up. And as you can see today, this is where price stalls, right? They come back into this volume and they find the bid. So because of that, oh, I just removed the whole zone.
Oh no.
I'm gonna put that back on later. So because of that, I'm thinking, okay, well, it's gonna be rotational. That's why I got into these longs around the 900s to move it back through. I did not hold through this whole thing. I just held back to around here, um, which is still like 50, 60 points. And now I'm short again because, well, if it's not going to sustain a build, right, we're just gonna go back through the range again. NQ's profiles, NQ's profile and ES's profile looks very, very similar. So it's giving me more confidence that, hey, a rotation again back through is certainly not out of the picture, especially if they can leave this volume behind and trade back into the IB. So yes, quite a few points in, still in four lots. It's a good P&L to take at least one or two more, but because there's some real potential here. I'm
Hmm.
sitting on a really there's a lot of cushion today right now, and the trade has already paid
I mean,
because I
this could
got in at the top, which I usually don't do. It's just 15-point risk for the potential and all this absorption. You just got to try it. You're never gonna know if you're right or wrong. You got to try it. Get paid more when you win than when you lose. That's all you can do. Um, already moved. Yeah, my stops break even now because look, they've tried it so many times, right? If they don't make it work on the downside, if it comes back up from that, it's not gonna stop here. So I want out, right? That's the idea. It's not because, oh, my entry's here, I don't want to lose any P&L on the comeback. I do think if they fail a move down after this many attempts, price doesn't stop here. They're going to poke higher. They're going to poke a new high. Um, Here for the risk check, risk check, risk check. It's a Prezi kind of day in the markets.
or a Garmin kind of day.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. We're like the yin and the yang right now, you know. There's a good balance here. Let's go short. Yeah, I'm hoping it continues to move down. I'd feel better if we can trade inside the IB, but honestly, by the time we get to the IB, I'm probably going to be down to three lots. So Garmin is the best smartwatch. Yeah, all the tactical guys, they got the Garmin's.
Yeah, I got the Phoenix Solar. I'm a big fan. Granted, I'm so lazy sometimes all I use it for is heart rate and other stuff. And even then, wrist heart rate is not the best way to do it. But I am sitting around a 70 beats per minute right now, probably a little
Do you
higher.
ever use it for trading? Like if your heart rate's too high, you got to close out your trade or something?
No, but there's a few times where I've glanced at it if I'm wearing it in a trade and seeing it over 100 and you're like, okay, just calm
Mm.
down. Because for me, my resting is anywhere between like 40 to 55 any given day, depending on what I'm doing. Sitting at my desk trading, it's usually probably sitting 60 to 80. But yeah, I have glanced and seen it over 100 before in a trade, which is probably not the best thing, but
What do you do when it's over 100? You just kind of try to
just
mellow out.
take some deep breaths. Like sometimes it's like it could be in a green trade too. You're just kind of you're like locked in, you know, your heart's pumping a
You're
little bit.
locked in, and then all of a sudden you're on the right side of a tweet.
Yep. And your heart rate will still go up. It's like the same thing. Like you could win a big hand of blackjack. Your heart rate's going to spike.
Don't I know it? All right, well, we've got 30 lots here,
I mean,
25s.
this is probably rotating down to 22K, right?
I hope so. They're close to my TP right now, but
Are you
I might
taking it
do.
all off or is that just a
No, this is one out of four here. I'm gonna move it up to cover it, so go down to three. So I'm down to three. Gonna put another one at IB. I think that's gonna be the decision point. So if we can accept back through IB, I think it looks really good. That move up was pretty crazy. So if they can start getting back into that range, that would mean, well, we've already got the offsides volume, right? That's my best case scenario. If I wasn't short already, I would be getting short. under these 40s, but because I've got the leverage on the table, I don't need to do anything. Um, yeah, usually this is when I'd start looking at the short when they're already trading under the 40s and they're building it. It's just sometimes you get better opportunities. So I should be worried if I'm constantly 172. You should go to the hospital.
Yeah, that's probably not great.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Yeah, you might be on the verge.
Yeah, you're probably in this volume then if you're at 170. You're up here. You're long up here. These guys that are long up here are experiencing higher heart rates for sure right now. Selling is fading a bit, but there's not much buying coming in either. So hopefully it works out. Schedule a teledoc hours. Yeah, there's this like little volume ledge at 21 3/4. I don't know what it is, but they're still not trading it.
Yeah, I didn't see that when I guess we were popping above that earlier today. If that was just a big order or
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Let's see. Oh yeah, it was a big order on the bid on the way up that got filled. You've got a footprint. You can see that on NQ. It was probably like a 50 or 100 lot order that slipped up on the bid and they just filled it and ran past it. I like that they're holding under this node now. ES is barely making its way under it for the first time. Pace is slowing down though. Not exactly what I'd like to see for the short right now. I'm gonna give it a few seconds and see if they can stack up in the offer more. If not, I'm gonna cover another one. Because yeah, I don't like this pace fading like this when they're finally got some ground on the sell side. I'm gonna cover two. I'm gonna move this
yeah,
and
sounds
just sit on this now. So the average has moved up to 74/4 because I've added to this trade a few times, like I said earlier. So yeah, we'll chill with this now. Um, it's been a great trade. Negative 213. Yeah, I can see that now. It looks like they ran the price up, and then it was on the bid, passive, and they filled it across the tape to fill it on the bid, and then continued. They got like it didn't continue at all.
I was very optimistic watching this afternoon trade and even the morning, um, that this was not going to be a slow power hour for you and I. And then this consolidation that we just don't want to break, apparently.
Well, I think if we can accept back into the IB, I think we can get some acceleration because of this
Yeah.
volume. It's pretty much the dead body setup, right? You want to have that build that finally tries to pull price somewhere and fall back and fail. They've tried it, so they tried to get back in earlier. They couldn't. So I think if we can move down and really lock out this volume, we'll see some action. Maybe not for very long because we're still just kind of ranging today. It's just finally they poked outside. Well, they went downside earlier. They tapered it. It was not much. Came upside, built, and then if they lose this now, I think the move down should be sped up at least, but who knows? They do things in the worst ways, this market.
Oh
But
boy,
yes, we apologize in advance if the market actually just does nothing.
nothing ever happens.
When Nick and I are on, the market stops.
It
Just
kind of
stops.
does. It might be me because you tend to get volatility with some days.
I don't even remember the last time.
I mean, it we've had up and down. I mean, FOMC last week was fun.
Actually, I think last week we were locked in a 30-point range together. And then when I was
Last
on with
Monday.
Stowe, we were locked in like a 20-point range.
Yeah, it was not a great start to last week, those first 2 days.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, buyers stepped right back in at 55s. I mean, now if they push it back up, I would hope we make a new high of the day, but not to stop you out on this, what was a great trade, potentially.
Oh yeah, no, I'm happy with it now. I'm just gonna leave my stop here and make them come get me if they're gonna do it. But it's only because right now, I mean, obviously it's a very good location, so I don't want to give it up in
Hmm.
case that they can't make a new high. If I didn't scale out, like, I don't even know, it's been like almost 10 lots already, just scaling in and out of this short. If I didn't do that, I'd probably have booked the profits just to make sure I leave with some profits. But it's been highly profitable. This is just in case. So
Jeez, here come buyers. Let's see. We're very close to making a new high of the day on ES. There it is. So the L period M period stat is now in play on ES.
yeah, now I'm glad I covered the other four down here at this low. Yeah, earlier guys, if they're gonna leave this behind and actually drive away from it, they got to do it with some pace. The tape kind of just dried up down there,
Hmm.
and if they want to pull price down, they have to literally be pulling price down. But tape just dried up, pace died, not much volume being built. So to me, that was kind of one of the signals, one of the indications that I should probably cover all or cover most. Um, Thankfully, dead body setup. Long story short, there are a lot of parameters and conditions, right? It has to be certain market environments. But it's when price finally pulls out of an area that it had trouble getting to and past, building volume, but then losing that volume. The bigger the volume, the better the trade, um, essentially. So you're going to play, it's basically a failed extension with enough newer inventory so that the market can drive against it. Um, I did make a YouTube video if you guys haven't seen it based on that. Um, but there are a lot of conditions that have to be met. The setup right now is invalidated. They should have held against this volume here, but the fact that they didn't, it is not in play. And usually it's on a trend, one market, one way directional day. The market's got to be moving one direction and building nodes along the way until it meets the counterparty that stops price, right? And so it's going to lose volume, no longer trade the volume. So you have to have that checkpoint too, where it comes back to it to see if it's going to go back through and extend again, and it doesn't extend anymore. That's when you can take the trade. But today is not that same market condition. Certainly not a one-way market today.
They didn't
Rotational.
get you.
Yeah, I think they will though. I would expect them to come back and hold this low volume area now at this point. But hey, if not, I'm not complaining.
What a gut punch to the sellers right there, though. Especially on
Mm.
ES. That was pretty violent to the upside, the other side of that little consolidation.
Oh, yeah, ES has got, it's literally, is it an equal high? No, one.
It made a new high, but it did not take out Friday's high, which just drives me nuts. They better do it.
Yeah, ES did a pretty clean low to high move, but what is that? One tick short? It's one tick short.
Yeah. Annoying,
They're gonna clip that, man.
probably. Get me with that one.
Why is war bullish? Everything's bullish. Bad news is bullish. Good news is bullish. Yeah, I never hang on to like really
I made
macro stuff. I know
I
a lot
made the
of
joke last night during the early parts of my show where it was like this is a week where your plan doesn't necessarily matter because things are could potentially change on a dime. I think everybody was
Mm.
expecting a gap down and how quick that reverses and we're right back into the same balance that we've been in for the last 2 months basically. So not a lot has changed. You kind of just got to trade what's in front of you.
Mm. It's not even that we got back in, it's like we got to the other side too. We got
Yeah,
to the
we
edge,
just
the
reversed it.
upper edge in one day. Yeah. It never, the market never really does what is obvious. So when
Mhm.
everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna gap down and it's gonna be they're talking like it's gonna be a black swan event or something, the macro experts come out of the woodwork. That's how you know it's no different than like a crowded trade.
Yep.
It's probably not gonna work out.
Come on. Good. Take out that high.
I can't believe it has held so far. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually find a rebid.
More interested to see if there's a reaction around in between kind of the 73s and 80s in ES. Since for the last week plus, even parts of 2 weeks ago, still the same area we've been kind of reoffering in. See if sellers are still there.
ES is way stronger than NQ
Yeah. Kind of
currently.
weird. I don't want to blame the options, but maybe.
Why would they do this? It's a lot more buying on the tape now. See if they can push it though. Yeah, the fact that they went under the 60s again and are not trading it right now is not very bullish.
There's just so much buy delta up here.
Yeah.
God, I hate when we're stuck in these ranges.
It's always when the show starts.
I know.
Power hour has not been power hour for a really long time. Half cave fills happen aren't uncommon. What is that? What does
I
that
don't know
even
what a
mean?
half cave
Half cave fills
fill is.
happen aren't. What are you trying to say?
I don't know if this is looks like the Iranian defense minister just said we reject forced peace.
Forced peace. It's a good way to put it. Cave fill. Oh, you're talking about this. Yeah. No, I agree. A lot of times when it's not like a defined low volume, like little little node or something, and it's like a low volume cave, yes, price tends to fill it in.
It's a good name for an LVN, a cave.
Yeah, that I agree with. They do generally fill those in. It'll fill in, and then you'll eventually see where the real low volume area is. How do I know this? Because, well, there's earlier on the days, I would consider every low volume area just a low volume area. And then after a while, you realize trying to put risk in that cave area just does not work. And then it always ends up building out. So, yes, that's another one for the chat. Half the LVN filled. I do trade into them. Yeah, I do trade into them because, well, they always end up filling out. Session profiles very rarely remain that way. So to me, yeah. Bat trader.
Our seller's
Have
going to
they
do this again.
decided to stop moving up yet? Yeah, NQ is putting in a lower high, but ES is not. Batman. Dump it already. Yeah, chill guy. Chill guy, we're on the same team, man.
It's like I want to short this, but I mean, I
It's a
guess you
lot
can.
dicier of a short now than it was
I
earlier.
know. But up there, it's just like, are we really not going to take out the previous day high?
Yeah. I'm glad I on the tail end just down to a runner here, but they can definitely hold a bid somewhere here. But if they don't, then we'll be partying. If they do hold a bid, we might just be stuck in this range for the rest of the day.
Don't say it.
Don't say, don't put it out there.
They're going to make us wait for the cane algo and then finally move us out of this range just to eventually close back in the range.
Yeah, just to move us out a few ticks. Now it's the POC. I mean, we're working with some upside wicks here, so maybe eventually it will play. This is the upper end of the range. We will see.
What to do, what to do.
Maybe we need some likes. Yeah, like the stream. Thanks, Frinton. Tin?
I mean, if once again, the reason we are not moving out of this range is because we don't have enough likes, then
It has to be that.
it definitely could be.
It's got to be. You know, it's super slow when even chat is not moving.
Mm-hmm. And slow mode's not even on.
When the market, the chat's kind of like a tape, you know? When the chat's moving fast, you've got some pace.
I mean, the tape was good all day for the most part
I know.
until we were about to come on air.
Yeah, the tape has been really good today. I like. Thanks. I hope it's enough to move us.
It's a never-ending quest for us to get over 200 likes.
I think we've been okay getting around there a little over
We've
lately.
just skirted by the
Oh,
200
nice.
like mark for us to be able to leave the show.
We're over it right now.
No, I'm saying every
Oh,
show I feel like we just barely get
yeah.
over it. So we keep Jim off our backs.
Yeah, guys, they don't pay us if we don't get there. So wait for the charge delta to flip. I mean, wait for anything at this point. A whole lot of nothing going on.
No, XY is short and Q currently.
Oh, Mark, yeah, I'm short. I've been short for what feels like an eternity now. I've been short since before the stream started. Um, just sitting on a runner and scaled out a few times, added back in, scaled out and stuff. It was right here. This low poke where the tape literally dried up and no one wanted to do anything was my indication to cover everything but one. But yeah, anyone who was watching order flow then, literally nothing was happening. Market's boring. Don't we know it?
Turned into the summer trade this afternoon.
Thanks, Smitty. We do our best. We do our best. Sometimes the market doesn't really give us much to work with, but it is what it is.
I mean, you could just be hyper scalping a 10-point range right now.
Seriously.
Why are you not doing that?
Seriously. And like all morning you would get easy like 40-point moves, painless, and now you're just trying to push through a wall to get 10. Yeah, our Crawford, you don't know the real Jim. He's ruthless.
You guys ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
See?
You think that soundbite just is from nowhere? That you think they just made that up?
Yeah, that was recorded behind the scenes.
That was when Nick asked if he can go outside for 3 minutes to see
Yes.
the sun.
I requested some vitamin D, and that's what Jim hit me back with. Not moving until Nick puts a hat on. I mean, I have several around this desk. Let's see if it does anything.
I mean, the tape is still majority bid, so I just need them to stop it. Literally just stop buying this and then price will die.
All
Because
right,
they're not
rally
getting
cap is
anywhere.
now on.
Oh, he's got it. All right, now we're moving. Should I get back into 7 lots? It's the indicator. I've got the chat pace indicator and Nick hat indicator for when to enter. Please stop buying. Yes. It's a nice enough request. I feel like I was kind enough.
I mean,
They've been trying to buy for like 10 minutes now.
as soon as the hat went on, somebody hit the offer.
I think we're on to something. I'm going to note this down for my personal edge. Bidding into the offers. Yep, literally. They were lifting offer and getting nowhere and got absorbed. I can't believe I survived that.
I mean, it just
So
did not
close.
get the same kind of move that ES
Yeah,
got. Poked that new high of the
it
day.
was not at all.
I mean, we literally made a high of the day by 2 ticks, 3 ticks.
They are still trying to buy. I just need them to simply stop doing that.
Someday Nick should trade cattle and put on a cowboy hat like a true Texan. I have done it live on stream. We haven't done it here. The part of the problem is the ag products kind of close early compared to equities when we're doing the show, so it's not exactly thrilling
Yeah, they close
television.
shortly after I wake up. I'll never trade it. That's what I hated when I was trading oil and gold. There was a time, it was like 2 years ago maybe, where where indices were so slow, and I didn't have much time to actually trade gold, especially because it would just close soon.
Yeah, everything else is, I don't know. It's hard to memorize the time because like even their opens are different than equities
Yeah,
technically.
earlier, much earlier.
Yeah, nothing's worse than trying to throw a cattle chart on your Sunday show and forgetting that ag does not actually open at 5 o'clock Central Time like equities do. Oops. I did actually pass the Series 3. I should probably know that.
Dude, they are still buying. Just gotta give it up. Just gotta give it up. We are at the swing low. They're still buying.
Trading the maintenance period featuring order flow labs.
Yeah, they gotta rename. They gotta rename the show indefinitely until morale improves.
NQ looks like it wants to leave the range. Yes, still stuck in the dead center of it. See if we can pay XY on his runner here.
It's moving. Dude, this pace is so dead. If they don't like actually show some pace soon enough, I'm just gonna give this thing up.
I
Take my
like want to
money.
join into this, but it's
They
so
gotta do
slow.
it. Still pretty responsive bid here, but they're not lifting higher.
They're gonna make us wait for M period, aren't they?
They're gonna make us wait for that algo just to move it 20 points. We need more likes. One like, one free NT live branding. Like delivered. Thank you.
I think someone just took away a like. Rude.
No take backs, guys. That's you know the rules.
All right, let's see what happens if we come back up to 65. I may join you.
I'm just waiting for them to stop buying these 30s. They're actually lifting the offer in the 30 to the 33s. They need to just simply stop doing that. Yeah. Now that there's actually actual offer lifting in the 30s here, then if they can push them offsides, they can run the price against them. So this is the key now. If they're going to start trading back into the 40s, we're going to sit here forever.
Just like how we're gonna be sitting on the stream forever
Mm-hmm.
without
You
more
don't get to
likes.
leave. You guys don't get to leave either.
Yeah, you guys are stuck with us. We're gonna then continue to trade and talk all the way through maintenance period for the Globex Open at 5 p.m. Central. We'll have to have Stowe call in and talk us through what he's making for dinner or something.
So stream what you're making. Still more buying than selling. 110,
I could see it.
22, 110. Possible. Yeah, I mean, this is the second attempt they just put in, so definitely possible.
Where was your entry? 80?
Honestly, I had them from 80 down to 71 because, yeah, I just kept getting short, scaling out, putting it back on, scaling some more. The last one I had seven whole lots on, anywhere from 71 to, I guess my last was 74 here. So now my average, my entry is now 74 and a quarter. So I'm definitely gonna sit here and make them come get me if they want to remove my access from this trade. If I wasn't positioned this well, obviously, now that the market's played out, you can see how good your position is. If I wasn't, I would have taken that already down there. But because I feel like I have a good spot, I don't want to give it up for the potential. Yeah, my entries have been anywhere from the 70s to the 80 mark.
If they're gonna send it, just send it already.
It's because of the person that took back the like.
I mean, probably
The
that guy.
market's like, oh, it's like that. Okay. Nobody double like.
Job, if you double like, it's gonna remove it,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
nobody double
Nobody
like.
double like.
Odd numbers only.
There we go.
They've been buying for a while. Yeah.
Yes, looks like it wants it.
20, 25 minutes of just buying. Where's the ES? Oh yeah, ES is already up there. They gotta poke that now at this point.
I removed my like when Nick put his hat on because it caused NQ to drop my stop loss. That was like a weird little candle, like the moment I put it on. It's like they're watching. I mean, they're watching the stream. I think we've established that at this point. They are always watching.
We got the turn finally. 2.5 minutes. Maybe something will happen.
Nope.
ES is gonna put an equal high.
Dude, if we did that, I will.
It's like one tick from Friday high, right?
Yeah,
Literally one
two
tick.
ticks.
Jeez. And I gotta cover that now. Nothing ever happens.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happens. Why crude is down 7% today.
Oh yeah, I'm really happy about those covers. I was only gonna cover one, and then I covered
Yeah.
two, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna cover three because nothing is happening. And now I'm very glad that I did.
Yeah, it always feels like when the tape is slow, it's just
That's it. It's the end of the
impossible to
road.
want to continue to sit short.
Yep. Yeah, that's another thing too. If you're in a short, you've got to be moving. The market's got to be moving. You cannot let the pace and the tape dry up because that's exactly how shorts stop working, especially shorts. They're either doing it fast or they're not doing anything. Yep, never short a dull tape, man.
Came within a point of a new high of the day, and See if they get it.
1 point. Oh yeah, right there. ES can use a better taper up there for sure.
Mm-hmm. Like I want to see that run through the wall type move and make a new high. Just stop everybody out. Not necessarily you, but
If it gets the market moving, I'm game.
yeah.
That's a pretty good close finally for ES, but they're 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 doing everything in the worst way. Jeez.
What does the chat think? Are we going to make a new high or are we going to be stuck in this range forever?
Oh, somebody's short. Shorts are very dicey right now. Shorts were a lot better earlier, but we're looking at two failed attempts, both of which did not see anyone willing to drive the market.
New lower high, I'm short. 79 high. I just hope they don't do that in the last 10 minutes. Like, do it now.
Oh yeah, we
I just
finally got
kicked
M
my dog
period.
on accident.
Back down to 30, then 75, and 110 after MOC. That's those are some bold predictions there. Well, they're still buying a lot more than they're selling still for the past 30 minutes. They need to just do it, get it done, or just simply stop doing it. That's all we need. Get it done or knock it off. I can't believe they didn't make a new high off of that.
I just hate it. I just hate it so much.
Two failed attempts. Well, here's the first. You could just look at it, eyeball it on your chart. Here's the first, and here's the second. The thing is, the first time around, no one was really trying to push it on the sell side, right? If you're not going to push on the sell side, there's no way price is going to go down. Second time they came back, and still, there's no one that's showing up that's really willingly trying to drive the market. They would just, put in some hits against the bid and price just trades above it and they're not pressing back into it. So it's quite literally them no longer selling. Um, they're not pushing price anymore. And if they're not going to push price one way, you're going to revert. And we're kind of seeing that on the upside too. Once they get somewhere, they just stop pushing. But they're still buying through this entire range. There's more lifting offer than hitting the bid for sure, right? You can see on the tape reader. They're constantly buying this range right now with everything that they've got. They're gonna absorb the move down and then they're gonna lift it back up. So two attempts, none of which showed any indication that there's actually more sell interest. If there's not, it's just simply not gonna work. So trying to simplify as much as possible, that's what I mean. If we're gonna move out of a range, you have to see order flow. That's initiative. And we did not get that both times down at the swing. Volume profiler, absolutely nothing is up. That's the problem. And when you think it's up, it's not up.
For the love of God, can we just make a new high?
This is it's turned into a 45-degree angle up there on ES's profile.
They're still
I feel like
absorbing
I'm
up here.
taking crazy pills!
I do. They're still absorbing on NQ too. Like, come on. Someone hit somebody. There's another sound bite that they should probably, I would love to see a sound effect for.
Why am I short if I don't think it'll break down? Well, I think cumulatively, I have gotten paid on about 14 lots short on this short. I think if you're just getting on the stream now, this is just my last position. Um, the short has paid very well, and because of that, now the market is showing me that my entry is very good. If the short is going to work, I'm going to make a lot more than if I had covered it for, I don't know, 25, 30 points. We got up to 50 points, right? But again, I've covered like so many loss on the short. The trade has more than paid me. And the only thing left for me is to hold on to this really good entry for one lot in case it actually runs down and leaves the volume offsides. Yeah, this is a runner.
XY, do I need to short this right here with the stop at a new high of the day for us to
Wait, I
actually,
need your stop. I need your stop at NQV WAP.
how low is that?
It's not that much further. It's like 916. You'll be fine.
Yeah, that's
You'll
not much
be all right.
drawdown. We're all right.
Just hit the long.
I'm debating on just slapping the ask right now so that I get stopped out so that we can actually leave this range. Because that'll do
Yeah.
it.
Anyone that's short, you need Nick to put the stop there at your target.
Only
Yeah, you'll be
100
fine.
points.
It's a tight stop. You'll be all
Not
right.
bad. I've seen worse on Twitter, so that's fine.
Oh, you mean the scalping gurus with like a 95% win rate because they don't
Yep.
actually
'Cause
use
there's
the
no
stop?
stop.
You can't lose if you literally don't lose.
All right. I'm gonna do this for the just for the joke. Stop at a new high today. I'm short.
Oh, now they're gonna go new high day.
So let's see. If X, Y, and I both get stopped out on this, there's something
We
to it.
know why.
If this actually holds and we liquidate down,
I need a new edge.
I'd be shocked.
I need a new edge. Different regime now.
No, also I was just continuing to see absorption up here. So it made sense. It's a very, very tight stop. So this is not the best trade in the world. Ideally, you'd want to wait for this to be taken out, but you're just not seeing that aggression from buyers again.
Yeah, they'll get up there and they're like,
It
all
kind
right,
of
you
dies.
buy it. Like, no, you. And then they're like, fine, we'll go back down. They go down, you sell it. No, you.
So
Like,
if
all
this
right.
actually works out, I mean, it's not like this was like I'm seeing what I'm seeing. So I'll take the shot at it with a tight stop, but I'm also doing this for the meme, I guess.
All right, 3 attempts. The tape has finally turned. There's finally more selling than buying. Let's see. If they go down there and they still don't put in volume, like even an attempt to build volume, I'm just gonna call it good. I'm so shocked that ES
I'm shocked we haven't already
has
made a new
not
high
poked a new high.
because we're going to see this take out that high, stop me out, probably just miss XYs by like a tick or two, just for because it'd be funny if that happened, and then it'll liquidate back down to 22K. My Fu uses stops for punchlines. That's basically what's happening here.
Well,
But
when the
if you were
market gives
watching,
us this, what
you were
else
watching
can you
several
do?
streams last week, on NinjaTrader Live, you would have witnessed this exact scenario happening several times in which it did actually work out for everybody else but me. So I'm doing this for all of you guys that are short in the chat. It may take a little heat, but eventually it will work out. That was pretty crazy though. Was I on with Stowe or you last week when that happened? Like twice. Where my stop was like
That was with
quick
stuff.
and then the move happened.
I was watching you guys, yeah.
That was bad. Yeah, it was FOMC because I was
Yeah.
actually trading it. So I was
I
with Stowe.
actually remember that very vividly. How many likes are we at? Are we at
We're just
200 yet?
short of being able to see the sun today.
Mm.
You know, there's 540 people watching, and we are 3 likes short of our low bar metric. 200 is the bare minimum to go outside.
Guys,
So if you
please.
haven't,
And trust me, I'll go
please
full
do it.
influencer mode if you want me to.
Thanks,
Do you
Kane.
guys want him to?
Oh, we're good
Tell
now.
him, chat. Tell him, chat. Tell him to do it.
They achieved the goal. Jim is off my back for the rest of
Nice.
the afternoon.
I'm surprised there's over 500 people watching the market do this.
I know. I thank you guys for hanging. I know this is a bit of a snooze fest of a power hour.
All right, this is it. We're gonna trade 19K. 3 likes? Yeah, as long as it's an odd number.
Yeah, this is nap time for sure. We're watching because there's nothing to trade. Yep. And we're trading because there's apparently nothing better to do.
Yeah, we're getting more likes.
I'm shocked I'm still in this trade, to be honest.
Yes, it's still just hovering the very highs.
Like they're gonna. Okay, I will say this: if we make the high of the day during MOC, this doesn't count, or does it?
Eh.
If I get stopped out on MOC, I mean, I probably wouldn't be in this trade anyway at that point. But
Yeah, I'd like to get flat before then. Now I'm just like, do I just close it here for 500 bucks? But no. We're gonna keep holding this.
it's like
We've
there's
got
no
like
sellers,
7
but there's
minutes.
also like no buyers.
Yeah,
wanting to make
there's
a new
just
high of the
nothing.
day.
The selling didn't last very long, honestly, on the
Did
tape.
not.
So that's kind of like, well, there isn't that much sell interest. Or they're just waiting for me to cover this runner. It's really,
I mean, maybe it wasn't me. Maybe it was you being the problem the whole time.
I think it's likely. Usually when I cover the runner, it runs another like 5 times the range. That's just how it goes. See, now that I'm talking about it, they're like, oh, okay. Maybe you should cover it.
Maybe sellers should show us something here. Just continue to insult them. It usually works.
To bully them.
Yeah, you just got to bully the sellers because they get bullied 9 days out of 10 days. Like anytime they get some momentum behind them, you get a V like we saw around lunchtime today.
Literally earlier today too, yeah.
It's like they get a negative headline, they just completely get over their skis, and then they get in trouble real fast. And then whoever's like yes, the big boy seller just tends to be the first person out the door in a fire, and then leaves everybody behind and
Yeah.
blown up. Like somebody big always covers. You see it on the tape, and then suddenly it's just an insane V.
All right, well, we're getting some pace finally.
Come on. Once again, NQ looks like it wants to potentially rotate back to 22K. Yes, just doing nobody any favors on the sell side.
I'm covering this. I'm taking my $700.
Attaboy.
That's it.
I mean,
They just
great,
stopped doing anything.
great trade though, and amazing like trade
Oh, yeah,
management as far as like how you were managing ads and getting out back
that was
in,
awesome.
especially in
That was
this
an awesome trade.
range.
I just wanted that big, the big flush, but whatever. I hate them. They hate me. But now that I've covered, it's probably game on. Thanks, chat. Luckily, the only uh the only painful hold was the runner, which was okay because by then it doesn't really matter too much anymore. But luckily, if I was still holding on to like multiple lots or like the core position, I would be losing my mind. I would have covered already. There's no way I'm holding all that.
We got what, 4 minutes. Let's see if anything's going to happen until then.
Oh, now they're loading up the offer.
Nick, what's your leg to leg swing set to? I want to say 7 points. Maybe it's 5. I don't know. Actually, don't know what it's set to when I built the Ninja chart book.
Can you see the grass growing?
Yeah, I volume profiler. Mine used to be 10. I had made it a little smaller as ES was kind of compressing over the last month plus, but I do not know what this one is set to off the top of my head.
I can't believe the markets did this to us as soon as the show started.
Wait, you're shocked by that? I'm not.
I-
Seems like it
I'm
happens
a slow learner.
every other trade the close. It's like we get just a hint of volatility one afternoon, and then the next day they're like, "Oh, hope you enjoyed that."
Honestly, if I wasn't already in those shorts from like in the green room, I don't think I would have been able to even get anything off in this range, any trade. I wouldn't have been willing to long that low or even try to offer that pullback that almost took out my runner. There would be no trade for me. I just got lucky. Timing. Point ranges indicator. Point ranges.
Here they go. They're gonna load it up and stop me out before we even get the algo.
Chubby Pan asks, "Are you gonna close before the algo?"
I'll let the chat decide. I'm literally risking like $100, 150 roughly.
You guys should vote with likes. Like means he closes, and like also means he doesn't close.
No, because I'm long and holding. Leave it on. I mean, I'll let it ride. If there's a point, like hey, it's 100 something bucks, like I will, I guess, take the risk. I would
Leave it.
imagine the algo is going to stop me out.
Of course, they want entertainment.
Close, hold it.
Like
Let it.
wants to hold 3 times to bail. That's a good idea. Yeah, do what Ram says. That's a good way to vote.
I mean, this is probably going to get stopped at before we even get there.
It could even just like stop you out and then go down.
Yeah, likely is going to stop me out right before, and then the algo is going to send it back to IB high. That would be just the chef's kiss of
You got
this
30 seconds.
continuing meme of me being stopped out.
See, if it happens, it's Nick's fault, guys. If he had put his stop down there at the POC, we'd be running down there.
Yeah, I just had to long it up here
Just had to long it
with a
with
20
a stop.
point
No,
ES
no take
stop.
profit. Just put your stop at the POC.
Attention traders, it's algo time.
All right, chat, you wanted it. So yeah, we're just gonna let this ride. Survived so far. And nothing happened. We still, I mean, what kind of, that wasn't even an algo. Now it's, there's the, okay,
There it is.
a little delay on the bid. So there's a new high of the day. The L period high of the day stat does pay in M period, where we did make another new high of the day. So there you go.
Even doing so, NQ is still stuck in the same node.
Yeah, we still haven't gotten what would have been XY stop. They made the new high of the day. Good for them.
Just needed Nick stop before running back down, maybe.
I mean, it very much fits if that happens.
It's only right. Some things you can bank on.
I mean, NQ just doesn't want to move.
Seriously. ES is trying to drag it up by the collar right now. Literally grabbing him by the collar, like we've got to go up.
Still going.
Yeah, ES is going now.
This is like a bad soccer match. Score is 0-0.
What an exciting power hour.
Nope. I mean, ES is doing its best to drag NQ. It's does not want it.
You're having a great time. Did you hit the like? If you're having a great time, you got to hit the like button.
Jay is correct. There clearly has not been enough CEOs tweeting, talking about AI today. That is why we cannot make a new high of the day in the NASDAQ. Still all this buy delta up here too. Oh, what happened?
They're really dragging their feet.
I'm shocked. We can't make the high of the day.
This is crazy. This is crazy how much nothing is happening.
There we go.
Oh, NQ's finally gonna move.
Can it make the high of the day? Possibly
To
push
think
us to
back
110.
to think back to just 24 hours ago when everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, market's gonna collapse."
I know. But then
That's
we
why I just
gapped
I
down
don't.
and I showed it on the execution chart. It was nothing but buy. Everything was just buy delta. That entire like from the like the opening tick, like the week open, it just was straight. All you were seeing was blue.
Q high, I think. Yeah, and Q finally.
Oh, by a tick.
Finally.
Literally.
Profile has been addressed on ES. All's well now. Can can I share my quant for getting out of that trade?
You have a
I
quant?
can. I can. There is a trader that I look for, and where he puts his stop is where the direction the market's gonna look to go towards.
Yep.
And when I had seen that the stop was higher than my limit order take profit, I had to get out. That's the trick.
Yep.
If you want to know who it is, you're gonna have to pay me $500. Is it Stowe? It's not Stowe. Although, although same rules apply.
Yeah,
No,
when
I
you make
just
your spreads, it tends to work out.
yeah. Yeah, it was more just one, two attempts. The third one, they're not even getting down to that low again, and it's already tapering in the sell. Like if you're not gonna sell it, then all right, fine, you know. Because yeah, that's literally why I got out of the trade. Every time they get to where they need to break, they're not selling. So I'm not gonna hold my breath for that.
Man, what a snooze of the power hour. But we did get the new high of the day.
On
Nick got
both, right?
stopped
Yeah.
out so that everybody could achieve that glory of taking out last week's, or excuse me, Friday's high. And now back to our regularly scheduled programming, that is the march up to a new all-time high by the 4th.
Oh yeah, that would be
Very poetic once
amazing.
again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, Jim's here.
Hey, Jim.
Hey guys. Actually, Power Hour, I'm sorry, the algo rather, the algo 10 minutes was good to the YM of all stock index futures.
Was it?
Had about a 50-point pop on it.
Oh, yes, it did. Still going too.
Yeah.
First timer. What's up, Jude? Hey, Jude.
Hey
Knowing
Jude,
when
thanks
to
for being
get
here.
out will defo increase profit. I mean, yeah, knowing anything increases profitability, but that's the trick. No, you never really know anything in this game. And anyone who tells you that they do is lying and trying to sell you something. You just kind of play your odds, man.
Yeah, I mean, you were describing it perfectly. How many attempts that we were kind of having on that low of the range and just no real initiation from sellers there. So you gave it a little room still to play out, but eventually you're just like, I'm done. I'm out. Plenty of
Yeah, like
points.
you're coming in and seeing me make a perfect cover now, but you've missed like the other covers on other days where I cover and then it really just runs. So
Yeah.
yeah, you never really know. You just you
But
do
part of
what
that
you will with the info.
is like knowing that hey, the other side of that trade is going to happen where you flatten out
Hmm.
of, I guess, fear of eventually that just can that doing this type of move, making a new high of the day. Um, at the risk of, hey, it could actually break and run lower. And I mean, we have those situations all the time.
Hmm.
You just don't beat yourself up too much about it.
Yeah, you can't let that bleed into your next trade.
That's great advice.
We did
Bury it,
finally
put
get
it
to
in
the
your
readings.
past, keep going forward.
I'm glad I was able to stop out for you guys to actually break out of the range to the upside.
Made the ultimate sacrifice.
I did. I said it. I was like, do I have to short this near the high of the day for us to actually leave the range?
The crazy thing is, we broke out upside, and the only news today was less bad news. Like not like less degree bad news.
Jim, it just seems like nothing shakes this market. It's crazy.
It's resilient.
Yes, it is.
Well, we got, I don't know, what was the range? Like 30 points ish. So tomorrow, me and Stowe, I mean, we're gonna have like a 20-point range.
I mean, if you include the overnight, what we had 500 plus points on NQ today.
Yeah.
All before stream.
Yeah, all of it before we decided to come on camera.
It's like when we got on, it's like, all right, everybody turn everything off, turn off all the algos,
Yep.
all
20
the
points.
orders,
That's all you get.
cancel all orders.
Well, I know Nick was logged in last night. Were you logged in XYZ at Sunday Open?
No, I wasn't even in town until like late last night.
Okay.
Yeah, so I missed everything. I was just seeing the headlines, right? And then everyone on Twitter is screaming bloody murder, and I was like, I bet you I'm gonna wake up, and we are certainly not trading down. And we weren't trading down.
We live in interesting times.
hmm
That's for sure. By the way, Austin Schaefer passed an eval. Congratulations, Austin.
Nice.
Appreciate you. So tomorrow afternoon, you're back, right? XYZ, it's you and Stowe, huh?
Yep. I think I'm doing a triple back to back to back. So I think tomorrow's with Stowe, and then I'm back on with Nick
Yep. And then I will be rounding out the week on Thursday with Stowe.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we tied up Leo and left him in a room somewhere. We just forgot what room it was, so it's gonna take some time to find him.
Leo's probably a little bit busy with the little one.
A little bit, yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah. I meant to tell him, he was talking about it. He said, "Oh, I think he said he was 40. He's like having a baby late in life." I had my second one at 40. It's good.
Yeah, you guys are in the same boat right there.
Yeah.
But he'll be back. I think he'll be back next week, so you guys will see American Kane again.
Nice.
American.
Anyway, guys, great day, great job today. Appreciate you as usual, and of course, looking forward to talking to you guys again. So, thanks for today, chat. Thank you for being part of our community. Great community. Remember, high tides lift all boats, and you guys have been doing that for us. So we really appreciate that. Having said that, tomorrow we're going to be coming out strong. Bright and early, 8 a.m. East Coast time, Mishai Deli. We have a great lineup. I'm going to post it on X. You guys could see it ahead of time. I'll post it in a couple minutes. So in the meantime, OrderFlow Labs, rock on. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, chat.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for hanging out.
And we're going to sign off. I do want to remind everybody, most important message of the day, please be safe out there. Be good to each other. See you tomorrow.